Hi everybody, it's Marcy and welcome to day 3 of 5 days of fall. And for day 3, I will be working with this page of digital images from Dearjuliejulie. So we have this squirrel, we've got a couple of deer cards, we've got this diamond setter and manufacturer of diamond settings, but it's Gustav Fox, which is kind of appropriate for fall. And then we've got these things that have squirrels on them. We've got some kind of dark butterflies there and another postage stamp. And for Cara's day 3, we have these 3 tags, plus some labels, a postage stamp, a ticket, a Library of Congress label, and a thread. It says 3 cord, number 50, 200 yards. So a thread, like a spool topper kind of thing. Okay, so I've got them cut out. Start with the 3 tags, and the first thing I'm going to do, notice I remembered to turn my camera on today. You should be very proud of me. So I'm going to go ahead and punch the holes in the top of these, trying to get them lined up as well as I can. That one isn't great. I'll have to take a little ink to that. And that one isn't too bad. That'll be mostly covered up. Well, if not completely covered up, but my ability to hit center with my hole punch is just about non-existent. Okay. Now, I'm going to set this one aside for a second. For these 2 tags, what I want to do is I want to use these Dearjuliejulie cards and make little pockets on the tags. So I need to pull out my cutter, and I don't want them quite that tall, so I'm going to 2 3/4 ought to be good. So I'm going to take that off, and let's see how wide my tags are. I should have measured that beforehand. My tags are right at 3 inches. Okay, so I want to get all of that buck. So I'll need to lose a hair shade of that side. That'll work. And on this one, okay, I can cut it to 2 3. That's 2 1/2. 2 3/4 again. And on this one, yeah, I think I may just have to lose that dough. Which I'm okay with as long as, ooh, is this one. Did I cut this one just a little narrower? No, right at 3. All right. So lose that dough and we'll keep this buck and dough. Okay, that'll work. Even though I switched around, I think I actually wanted to use that one over there. And this one over here, I think is what I had decided previously. Okay, so they're right at 3 inches, so I'm going to put little thumb holes in them. So mark 1.5 and mark 1.5. All right. And this time I'm just using my 1-inch hole punch since these are, or circle punch, since these are smaller pockets. And again, I'm making them relatively shallow. And let's ink these up. Oh. So I hope everybody's having a great day. I'd love to know if you're playing along with the 5 days of fall. And what kind of brilliant ideas you all have come up with. Okay, so both of those will be little pockets at the bottom of the tag. And I'm going to add some glue on the 3 sides. The 3 sides that do not have my thumb hole. Okay, and then I'm taking I've been doing this a lot lately, taking my edges and just squeezing my top edges in ever so slightly, just to create a little bit of room for stuff to slide in and out. So that way it's not such a tight fit. And I'm not squeezing it enough or not pushing it in enough that you can tell that there's any difference, but just enough to make the slightest bubble in there, if you can see that. Okay. And now I'm going to do the same thing with this one. Just push it in ever so slightly and hold those 2 corners for just a second to let them grab down. Okay. Then, for these two, I've got this brown seam binding. Oh, I do want to put, since I'm going to be putting seam binding through the holes, I do want to go ahead and put hole reinforcers down just as an extra. You know, they're slightly decorative, but they are also extra protection. And I'm only going to put these on the back because Cara has the front of the tags decorated with the, what do you call it? Eyelet. Okay. So that will work. And now I'm ready to just put a little seam binding through here. For a tag topper. Boy, I feel like I've got shaky hands. Maybe I've had too much caffeine. You know, I drank caffeine for years and years and years. And now I primarily, and it never really bothered me. Now I primarily drink I drink half and half. I drink half calf, half calf, and half decaf. So with every cup, basically I'm getting quarter calf coffee. And so when I do something on the rare occasions that I drink a soda or something that actually now has caffeine, I can really tell. And right now I'm not even drinking just a regular soda. I'm drinking a Mountain Dew, which of course has tons of caffeine. So that's making me my hands a bit jittery. Okay, come on. Come on. There we go. I cut that one a little short, but that's okay. Okay, then I think in this one, I cut this from Dearjuliejulies, and I did have to trim the edges a good bit to even give it a chance, hopefully. Ooh, that's still going to be a tight fit, isn't it? Yeah, I may need to actually work on trimming that a hair shade more. But I just thought I would slip that into that pocket. I don't know what I want to put in this pocket yet. The only other thing Dearjuliejulie has for day 3 is that would be large enough is this pumpkin, and it doesn't really go with that, so I'm going to hang on to that. Then for Cara's third tag, I'm going to use Julie's. Well, before I do that, let me go ahead and put a hole reinforcer on here. Okay. Then I want to put this squirrel on here. And before I finish decorating this, I'm going to run this to my sewing machine and sew all the way around the squirrel image, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so I went ahead while I was sewing around the squirrel card. I went ahead and sewed around the edges of these pockets as well. And I did round the corners at the bottom of my tag, which I normally do just to make it easier to slide in and out of pockets. And somehow I really thought this really wasn't going to fit after I sewed around the edges, but it slides down just fine. So that one is good. This one is good, but for I will need to tuck something into the pocket. I'm just not sure what yet. And then for this one, I want to use this little Cara label, but most of my autumn words are too big for that label. So what I'm going to do is I am just going to, I've got this little bow. And it's made to look like it's made out of rope or twine or something. So I'm just going to, just because I'm just going to stamp that little bow right on the bottom of that label. Then, let's see how I want. Scoot that over a little bit. Okay. So I want that to go about center. So that can go there. And then I'm going to use the 3-cord thread topper from Cara's page. And glue it right there. Okay. Then the only other thing I'm going to do to this tag, I've got more seam binding, but this time I've got a deep, it's not quite burgundy, but it's a a deep dark red. And we'll just pop that right on the top of that tag. So those are my makes for day 3. So I hope you enjoyed that. And until next time, be sure to search for other videos. You can search hashtag 5DOFC2021. And until next time, I wish you all a wonderfully happy, crafty day, and I will see you all tomorrow for day 4. Bye-bye.